What's up, guys? I'm recording this day of, yes, because I need to find guests, bro. But like, I gotta realize too that I don't need guests all the time, so I can just, if I'm not finding a guest, I need to just record them. Because there's some of these that I need to do on my own because there's a lot of topics that I'd like to touch on with y'all that are like kind of like personal things that like when I have a guest, I'm trying to focus on that guest, focus on them, dive into them, pick their brain for what they know, not what I know. So I do need to have some of these solo episodes too. And I'm gonna try to keep them just as good as the other ones, not just some throw it together last minute thing. I'm working on it. Today, what I'm getting into is like, what if I could go back in time? What if I could go back and tell myself at the beginning of high school, or just like starting to grow up, starting to like, I don't know, like eighth grade, whenever you're 13 to like 18, like go back in time and tell myself 5 tips of how to like set myself up right. Number one is God. And for the longest time, I really did not have God. I grew up with God. If y'all watch my Who Am I, my testimony video, I knew God. I didn't know God. I knew of God for the longest time. I knew of Him. I went to church pretty regular with my parents, and it was kind of just a chore to me. I didn't really care. I was too focused on worldly things and the day-to-day things. I didn't really realize how important God is. But God is the most influential thing in your mind, in your life. If you don't have God as your number one focus, all the other things are going to fall and they're not going to go in the right direction that you're going to want them to go. If you don't have God straight in your life, then you will have no true moral compass. God is really at the center of it all. God is what keeps you in line, keeps you focused on the true divine things, the true things that are going to last forever, the things that are eternal, not just the things of the world, not girls, not money, not all those temporary things, but the things of God. Love, true love, relationships, the good things of life, the memories that we make here, and the impact that we make with other people. So I really believe that what you need to do, go to church, try going to church, get a Bible if you don't already have one, and start reading. Start with the Gospels, because I'd say that's probably the most important part to read. That's the most important part of the Bible, where Jesus Christ made his great sacrifice for us so he could save us from our sins. You learn about that, which is what you have to believe in, what you have to accept to be able to make it to heaven. But it also, along with that, teaches you Jesus' ethical brilliance and how he lived his life so that you can use him as an example of how to live your life. Start with that. Try to go to church. Bring your friends to church with you. Try and make it a thing. Go to church with the boys, stuff like that. And maybe your parents too. Or maybe your parents already go to church and you've just been poopy all these years. Get up and go. I'm telling you, God is like, this is number one. I probably should have made this number five because this is like all these other things like build into this. God is the complete core of all these things. If you don't have God, you don't have morals, you don't have discipline, you don't have anything without God. So you need God, number one. And number two, what I would tell myself is drop the video games, drop the scrolling on TikTok, quit just sitting around playing around wasting time. Start working out. Start on your hobbies that you know will be good for you in the future. Start working out, start making content. I wish I would have started making this a long time ago. I always wanted to. If y'all look on my account, I have videos that are back from when I was in 6th grade and stuff. But then I was all scared of, we'll get back into this later, but what people think and stuff, and then I took them down. I quit making them for the longest time because I was being a pussy. Don't be scared of anything. Start on your hobbies, start on them now. It's just like investing. You want to start on them now so you can have them later. And things like working out, things like making content, investing, whatever hobbies, a lot of those things, it takes a long time. It takes a while for them to build and for them to have value in the future. And if you put the time in now, I trust me, bro, it's gonna be very much worth it in the future. That was a pretty short one, but I'm telling you, I regret, and this sounds bad, but I kind of regret it. Sure, I had some good memories with my friends playing the video games, but there was a lot of times where I was like late coming upstairs from the basement to go eat dinner with my family because I was too busy playing video games and sucked into these video games. I stayed up till 4 a.m. playing, and I would spend all day playing. I wasn't really living life. I was having fun with my friends, but like I think we need to go outside more. I think we need to go and like do things more. Get you a hobby that's actually gonna like build you. Like those dinosaur games, those Fortnite, like that stuff's like gonna make you happy for like the moment, but then when it's over, what does it leave you with? It leaves you with a belly full of junk food, legs that haven't got up in years, wet diaper. Like bro, like you gotta go do something that's gonna like leave you something in the end. That's the whole point of anything. Number three, let go of the girls. Quit chasing girls in high school. Quit Snapchatting girls. Now, I'm not saying completely shut and isolate yourself off. Like, keep talking to people. Keep on talking to people. Not just like, I'm not saying go be a man hoe and flirt with all these girls. I'm just saying like have casual conversation with people. Just like practice being able to talk to people. Because like me personally, I've not been able to talk to people good at all for the longest time. I've been trying to get better at it recently with making these and trying to like force myself to go out and get guests. What I'm trying to do right now is go out and go get guests in public, like go to restaurants and just talk to random people. It's hard, and that's the good thing about it. It teaches you how to talk to people and not be all scared. You got to be good at selling yourself and communicate. That is a good skill, communication. So, but girls, it can be a big distraction from what I was saying before, working on your goals. It could be a big distraction from God because a lot of times in high school, like me personally, with first relationships, you end up making that person your idol. You end up making that person the thing you think about nonstop. And I'm not saying don't love that person, don't be like like having them in your thoughts and stuff, but like it's when it goes to the overboard where you want to see them every 5 seconds and that's all you think and talk about, and then you cut your friends off and everything else. Everybody wants to live their own type of life, but I'm telling you that most of the time, these people that you're going to find in your local high school, there's very few that are super loyal and they're going to stick with you to the end. Now, if you're a lucky one who can find somebody like that, that is great, bro. Good for you. Pats on the back. But a lot of times, it's not going to last very long. And I'm not saying, like I said, do not cut yourself off. Don't isolate yourself. Still put yourself out there. Keep talking with people. Be chill with people. Even if they don't even seem that cool, just practice talking with people. Be nice to everybody. But don't Snapchat girls and stuff. Do not do that. It's just a complete waste of time. There are no, okay, there's very rare scenarios maybe, but Snapchat is just, that's gotta be one of the worst apps ever created. You sit on there adding all these people on quick add who just send you freaking weird pictures and crap, and then you play the whole game of sitting undelivered for years, and then, oh, they made me wait 2 hours, so they snapped me back, so then I gotta wait three, and then like, dude, that is not real. You're just playing games with each other at that point. And if you're playing games, then how do you think that relationship's going to be later on if you are able to bag that person? It's not going to last. It's going to be miserable and suck. You're not going to find real girls on there, dude. I really think that Snapchat is a big thing that's ruining our generation. It's not teaching people to go out and talk to people, go and figure out how to communicate, sell yourself to people, and nobody's talking to each other anymore because they're just sitting online behind the screen late at night all lonely, sending people their forehead and their ceiling fan. Like, dude, it is the biggest waste of time ever. I could rant on Snapchat for hours and hours, but I could just be saying the same thing over and over again. Just get off Snap, dude. It's a waste of time. I understand snapped a few of the boys and having like the group chat, a few group chats and stuff, for sports and different things. But like, do not get off the quick ad, bro. Get away from it. It's just a waste of time. The streaks, biggest waste of time, bro. So what I'm saying is like, just put the girls on hold for now. Work on your hobbies, building yourself up, your sports, your things like that, that you can build yourself up and find yourself first, find yourself in God, like I was saying in number one. These things all tie into each other. Find yourself in God so that later on, then you can attract that woman who is of God and has built herself up too, so you guys can be perfect with each other. Now, if you, like I said, if you can find a little girl in high school, great. That's good for you, bro. But it's very hard. So don't get caught up in the you have to have a relationship in high school to like experience high school and the school dances. Not go to the school dances. Go for like the social aspect and to see people because I mean you're not gonna have a school dance again. Just go have fun with your friends, but don't worry about you have to have a date and all these things. It's not that deep, dude. It's really not that deep. So just wait on the girls for now, bro. Figure yourself out first. Number 4, prepare for change. Big time. Like the friends that you spend your initial like childhood with, and like dude, people are gonna change. Even if you think you know them so well, they're gonna change. High school changes people. Like I'm telling you, junior senior year is like where the switch happens. Like people, you'll start seeing people like getting into weed and getting into drinking like a lot in that time period. People that you wouldn't even expect. People that were complete nerds before, and you're like, what in the heck? Like these people, they're just trying to find themselves, which in the world, not in God, and it's taking them down a bad path. Try to help those people if you love them and they're your close friends, even other people. Try and help them. Try and bring them out of that. Try and bring them to God. But I'm telling you, prepare for that because it's going to come. Do not get drugged down with that. You don't have to do that stupid stuff. We're going to get into that in a second. But there's going to be a lot of change. High school taught me a ton about change, especially my senior year. Pretty much the whole theme of it was change of myself and change of others. So prepare for change because it's going to shape you. It's a good thing, but do not let it hurt you. Do not let it hurt you. Let it build you back up and let it be a lesson. Let it be a lesson. Number 5 is like I was saying earlier. Remember, I said that I used to try to make content when I was in 6th grade, but I got scared of what other people thought, and I'm still working on being a better communicator. But like, I would never talk to anybody much at all besides like uh, my best friends. But be you, dude. Be you. Go out there and just talk to people all the time. Communicate with people. Don't be all scared in the corner, not even wanting to raise your hand. I know that everybody gets like that. And I think that the phones are a big problem with that too because everybody's so conditioned to just sit and stare at your phone all class period and not look at each other because it's scary and stuff like, dude, you don't have to do what everybody else does. Raise your hand, put your input in, be yourself, bro. These people, you're only going to see them for like this little bit of time. Everybody's going to move away to college. Like some of the people, they're going to stay back in town. But I mean, me personally, I knew I was getting out of there. And I'm just telling you, like, even when you're still in town, most of these people, like, you're not going to see them again. It doesn't matter anymore. So why should it matter in high school if in the future it's not going to matter anymore? We should be looking for one audience and serving one audience, and that's God. So don't be worried about what other people think because most of the time, when you're all looking shivery and scared, people think you're more weird than when you actually just put it out there and put out who you really are. So now that was number 5. I said only 5 things, but I have some extra things here at the end. Do not drink. Do not vape. Do not get involved in all these party things. There's going to be a ton of party things that are going to pop up in high school. And like I said, people are going to change. People are going to get involved into that. I'm telling you, I don't drink because I don't see the point in it. I know there's so many people in high school that drink. Pretty much everybody does. I only know a few people who don't. There's not really much of a point in it, dude. You feel like crap. Me personally, I can have fun, without that stuff. I just think it's kind of like a loser thing personally, because like, why do you need that, dude? Why do you need to like take something to try and like make yourself feel more confident and feel better? Like, dude, get the real raw version of life, dude. Like, God's blessed us with that. Don't, like it says in the Bible, don't be a drunkard. I'm telling you, these things, getting into those habits of vaping and drinking and doing drugs and stuff, like, it's going to get you into some bad habits that's going to set you up bad for the rest of your life. Especially if some of you going into college, you're going to get sucked into them, some of them parties more, and doing even even worse stuff. Do not start that stuff in high school, I'm telling you. Biggest mistake yet. You're not going to be able to find your full potential in your sports, things like that. Like, it's just, that stuff was never who I was. I knew I was never going to do that stuff, and I never did. It's not something that was me. So I personally, I don't see the point in drinking at all. There's no point. From what I've seen, they just act stupid. So don't get sucked into that. Don't start doing that crap, because it just, the only path it can lead down most of the time is a bad path. So I'd stay away from it. But I know I'm gonna make more parts of these type of things in the future, because I know these were the basic things I thought of immediately. Number one takeaway I want y'all to get from this is find God, because God keeps you on that moral thing. God will keep you away from wanting to drink, keep you away from wanting to vape, do all these things that are of the world, go and party and frick around with girls, doing Snapchat and all that. God will keep you away from that, dude, if you have God as your number one. But then all these things, 2, 3, 4, 5, working out, let go of the girls, prayer for change, be all that falls behind that. So follow God and put God first in your life today, bro. I'm begging you. I thank y'all for listening to me. Have a great, great rest of your day. I love you guys. Real talk.